I need you to stay with me for the next few minutes because what I'm about to tell you directly affects your Social Security check and the Social Security Administration's ability to deliver those benefits. Not in theory, not someday, right now. My name is Bruce, and if nobody else is going to tell you the truth about what's happening to Social Security, I will. Hit that subscribe button so you never miss these updates. Let me start with something President Trump said. He has repeatedly promised Americans, and I'm quoting directly here, "We're not touching Social Security." Now let me tell you what's actually happening. According to the Economic Policy Institute, SSA Acting Commissioner Leland Dudek announced the federal agency would implement a reduction in force, or RIF, slashing its workforce from 57,000 employees down to 50,000. That is 7,000 people gone. A 12.2% reduction in the staff responsible for processing your benefits, answering your calls, and keeping the whole system running. 7,000 workers at the agency that handles benefits for 70 million Americans. But it doesn't stop there. According to the Senate Democratic Caucus, Doge is preparing to shutter 47 field offices and 6 of the 10 regional offices across the country. Let me put that in plain English. Nearly half of Social Security's regional offices could be closing, and 47 local field offices, the places you walk into to sort out problems with your benefits, the places where a real human being sits across from you and helps you figure things out, those are closing too. The majority of the offices closing, according to Newsweek, are in the South and Southeast, particularly affecting states like Texas, North Carolina, and Arkansas. So if you're in those areas, this hits especially close to home. In White Plains, New York, one of the first hearing offices to close forced residents to travel anywhere from 24 to 135 miles just to have their Social Security appeal heard in person. One Republican congressman called it, and I'm quoting here, "a slap in the face to thousands of my constituents who rely on these services." And that was a Republican saying that. Now here's what really worries me about all of this. Think about who uses Social Security offices the most. It's not young people who are comfortable doing everything online. It's seniors. It's people with disabilities. It's people who need to sit across from someone and get help navigating a complicated system. Dr. Sharon McLennan-Weir, Executive Director of the Center for Independence of the Disabled of New York, said it perfectly. 70 million people receive Social Security right now. And most of those people are seniors who really don't use the computer to that extent. They like the call option. They like the call option, meaning they pick up the phone and talk to a real person. But with 7,000 fewer workers, how long do you think those wait times are going to get? According to one analysis, after these cuts, each remaining Social Security employee will be expected to serve 1,480 beneficiaries. One employee. 1,480 people depending on them. And it gets worse. On top of closing offices and cutting staff, the Social Security Administration is now requiring millions of Americans who file for benefits by phone to verify their identity using an online system or show up in person at a field office. The same field offices that are closing. One estimate says this change alone could add 75,000 to 85,000 additional visitors per week to the remaining offices. So they're closing offices, cutting staff, and then funneling more people into fewer locations with fewer workers. Does that sound like efficiency to you? Darcy Milburn, Director of Social Security and Healthcare Policy at the ARC, put it this way. They're cutting as much as 12% of staff. They've reduced the regional offices by 60%. They are rolling back really pro-beneficiary policies. Rolling back pro-beneficiary policies. That means the rules that were put in place specifically to protect people like you and me, people who paid into this system our entire working lives, those protections are being dismantled. And the most alarming warning came from Martin O'Malley, who served as Social Security Commissioner under the Biden administration. He knows this agency inside and out. And here's what he said. Here's what I want you to understand about why this matters so deeply. In 2023, approximately 30,000 people died while waiting for a Social Security disability determination. 30,000 people. That was before any of these cuts, before offices started closing, before thousands of experienced workers were pushed out the door. What happens to that number when there are 7,000 fewer workers processing claims? Everything they're doing is driving this agency to system collapse. It will lead to interruptions in service. He went even further, telling CNBC, Ultimately, you're going to see the system collapse and an interruption of benefits. I believe you will see that within the next 30 to 90 days. An interruption of benefits. From a man who ran the agency. That is not a political talking point. That is a warning from someone who knows exactly how Social Security works and what happens when you strip it down this fast. Now, I want to be fair here. The SSA released a statement saying, and I'm quoting directly, Social Security recently set a staffing target of 50,000, down from the current level of approximately 57,000 employees. Rumor of a 50% reduction is false. So they're pushing back on some of the bigger numbers floating around. The 50% cut rumor is apparently not accurate, but the 7,000 worker reduction? That's confirmed by the SSA itself. The office closures? Those are confirmed. The impact on seniors trying to access their benefits? That is already happening. Here's what I want you to understand about why this matters so deeply. In 2023, approximately 30,000 people died while waiting for a Social Security disability determination. 30,000 people. That was before any of these cuts, before offices started closing, before thousands of experienced workers were pushed out the door. What happens to that number when there are 7,000 fewer workers processing claims? You paid into Social Security every single paycheck of your working life through FICA payroll taxes. This was not a gift from the government. This was money taken from your wages with a promise that it would be there when you needed it. And now the agency responsible for honoring that promise is being cut to the bone, potentially threatening the very Social Security trust fund that your contributions built. So what can you do right now? First, if you have any Social Security business to take care of, do it as soon as possible. Don't wait. Whether it's checking on your benefits, updating your information, or starting a claim, do it now before wait times get even longer. Second, find out if your local Social Security office is on the closure list. You can check the SSA website at ssa.gov to find your nearest office and confirm it's still open. If yours is closing, find out where the nearest remaining office will be. Third, make your voice heard. Call your representatives. Both Republican and Democrat lawmakers are pushing back on these cuts because their constituents are angry. Your call matters. Your vote matters. Make them understand that cutting Social Security services is not acceptable. And fourth, spread the word. A lot of seniors don't know this is happening. They're going to wake up one day and try to call Social Security and wait for hours, or show up at their local office and find it closed. Share this video with the seniors in your life so they can prepare. Because here's the bottom line. They told us they weren't touching Social Security, but cutting 7,000 workers, closing 47 offices, shutting down 6 of 10 regional headquarters, and piling more requirements onto seniors who are already struggling to navigate the system, that is touching Social Security. That is gutting Social Security. And every single person who paid into this system for decades deserves better than this. What do you think? Are you worried about what these cuts mean for your benefits? Has your local Social Security office already been affected? Drop a comment below and tell me what you're seeing in your town. And if this video helped you understand what's happening, please share it because the seniors who need this information the most are the ones least likely to hear it anywhere else. I'm Bruce. I'll see you tomorrow with more of the real talk about retirement in America.